One more thing which they have added into the UI of the Samsung Galaxy S5, the new TouchWiz UI actually have the shortcut to launch the camera application directly from the lock screen. So you just need to swipe it like this and the camera application will get launched, and then you can take a photo quickly. Just like on iPhone, you have this feature on this device as well. Now taking a look over the camera interface, as you can see, this is how the camera interface look like. It has very good fast autofocus, which it does. You can tap to focus, and either you have the object which is there in the center, it will automatically have that object focused for you. So it will do the autofocus pretty quickly, as you can see. And let me just take this photo as of now for you. So we have taken this photo as of now in a room with some artificial light, and let me just turn off this artificial light and let's find out how does the photo actually come out without the artificial light. This is the kind of scenario which you can actually expect to have in a low light scenario basically. Let me just take this photo again. So we have the same photo over here. We will take a look over these two photos one by one. The first photo is this one, as you can see, which is taken with the artificial light. It is pretty good. The pinch to zoom, I would say, is much more fluid. It has become much more responsive as compared to the previous TouchWiz UI which we have seen, which is definitely a good thing. Now once we zoom into the photo, the amount of details and the colors which have been captured are almost identical to the object which is over there if we actually compare it with the light scenario. However, the overall color production is slightly different. It is a little bit oversaturated, that is something I can say, but still it looks good. And once you zoom in, you can see good amount of details as well. But the photo which we have taken in low light, or maybe this one, so this is the photo which we have taken in low light. As you can see in this light scenario, because you have so much light coming from the display of the phone, which is my iPhone, that is why everything is kind of very much faded and not very white. But again, this photo looks pretty good as well in terms of the overall you can say the colors it has captured, as well as in terms of the details as well. It looks pretty good. We have another shot which has been taken in which the phone brightness was not that much, but again in this photo as well, the photo looks good. But when we zoom in, you can see some amount of blurring. So the amount of details which can be captured will vary depending on the low light scenario you have, but the overall quality of the low light photo from this device looks pretty good as far as the rear camera is concerned. Let me just go back and show you the camera UI. So these are all the options which are there in the camera UI. You have the option to go to the video mode over here, and let me just check out different modes. So you have auto mode, beauty face mode, short and more, panorama is there, virtual tool is also there, which is again create a 3D panorama for you. And you also have the option of using the dual camera. You can actually download more modes from the Samsung App Store on this device basically. And let's take a look over the settings. So under settings, you have the option of turning on the selective focus as well, and this is a new feature which they have added into this camera, because this camera is slightly better as compared to the S4 camera, and I would say it is definitely much better as far as the overall test which I have conducted. I have taken some photos. So the resolution at which the video can be recorded from the rear camera is going to be high definition at 1080p, and you can record ultra high definition video as well, 16:9 aspect ratio. That is something you can do on this device, which is definitely a good thing. You have different modes, flash, timer, other settings. You can actually tap on the screen to take a photo as well. You can enable that, and let me just enable the selective focus and explain that for you. For example, you have a scenario in which you would like to focus on specific object and you would like to make everything else blur. So we have these two objects over here, and I will take the photo right now of these two objects in this scenario, and I will make sure that first of all I will focus on this, and the second time I will focus on this, and the selective focus is right now turned on. So once I tap over here, it focus this one, and let me just turn on the display again. So once I tap over here, it will focus. I take a photo. It will take slightly longer time whenever you have selective focus on, and make sure you hold the device still at the time of capturing the photo, and even after capturing the photo, make sure the device should be still. And again, because the device was kind of shaky, so let me just take the photo again. So in this case, I will do it again for you, and let me just focus it right now properly. So the device is almost stable, and this time it should come normal. And let me just see this. Okay, so right now as you can see, this object which is there in the center is actually in focus, and the other object which was there over there, it is in blur. So in case I would like to do the selective focus for the other object, I can select that object as well, and I can make this one blur. So okay, the picture, okay, unable to apply the focus. So basically you have to make sure that the device should be stable as it can be. Maybe you might need to use a tripod at times in order to take this photo with selective focus. Okay, let me just take a look over this photo. So this photo is better, but again, as you can see, this focus is not that good. Let me just take this photo again for you. Let me just do it again. So the picture is saved but unable to apply the focus contrast. So especially make sure that you have proper contrast in between two objects which you have selected in the selective focus mode, so that it can actually make the other object blur. And make sure which is the object which is there in the center, that is the object which you would like to focus, and that will be the best scenario in which you can actually achieve this thing very easily. So now we are under selective focus, and if I tap over here, it should focus this one and make everything else blur. So now it has taken the photo, and this time it has taken it in the right way. So as of now, this object is in focus and everything else is blur, which I wanted to. So you can actually use this feature just like a macro mode, because in macro mode we have seen that you can take photos from some of the smartphone cameras which support macro mode. You can actually make sure that the object which is there in the center is in focus and everything else is in blur. So you can do that, but now you can actually do it from much distance from the object. You don't have to be very close to the object, which was previously the scenario, but this time with selective focus you can actually attain this. So let's take a look over the front camera now. Okay, so this is how the UI look like from the front camera, and again the front camera is a fixed focus camera. You cannot do autofocus. It is a 2 megapixel camera. It can record high definition video as well from the front camera, which is definitely a good thing. So you can record high definition video even at 1080p, and as well as at 720p you can actually do that. So this is definitely a good thing which you can do on this device, which is normally not possible in some of the other smartphone which we have seen. So the overall UI which comes out from the front camera as far as the video feed is concerned is pretty good. You can do a good quality video chat from the front camera.